Foreman has passed away.
Let's get right over to Local 10 Sports anchor Clay Ferrero. He's in the newsroom with details and reaction.
Janice, George Foreman was larger than life, not just in the boxing ring, but later in his life as a pitchman. Tonight, Foreman has died at the age of 76. Foreman's family releasing this on Instagram tonight, saying, quote, "Our hearts are broken. With profound sorrow, we announce the passing of our beloved George Edward Foreman Sr., who peacefully departed on March 21st, 2025, surrounded by loved ones." Foreman started boxing at the age of 17. He won a gold medal in the 1968 Olympics and then won the heavyweight championship in 1973 by knocking out Joe Frazier. Foreman returned to boxing at the age of 38, and it was an incredible comeback. After getting a couple of title shots, Foreman would take on Michael Moore in 1994 and incredibly reclaim the title at the age of 45. The boxing world reacting to Foreman's death tonight. Just moments ago, Mike Tyson posting on X, quote, "Condolences to George Foreman's family. His contribution to boxing and beyond will never be forgotten." Foreman.
Yes, he will never be forgotten. The legendary George Foreman. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Franchise Pearson. Welcome again to my channel. Last night, as I was doing some preparation, a comment came through on my phone, and they're like, "Pearson, George Foreman just died." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm working on it." And I worked on it off and on. Got it done, I guess, around 1 o'clock in the morning, and here it is, 8:52 in the a.m., March 22nd, 322, again, 322. Happy Saturday, let's say it together. Praise God from whom all blessings flow, and may he rest in peace. May George Foreman rest in peace. Right off the bat, when I pulled this up, I couldn't help but notice the tie of this anchor. The Tiffany blue and the purple. Look at that. I mean, is that coincidence or what? If that's not Phoenician or what? I would definitely put it in the description, new subscribers, because there's a hidden hand that has been running the world for a long time. And their two major colors are Tiffany blue and purple. What are the odds he would report this? You got 76 going up there, of course, because George Foreman died at 76. Then you got this here, like the rising of the sun with the purple and the blue. And guess what? The sun god raw colors of the purple, of the orange and the gold. I mean, I couldn't have picked a more perfect newscast to talk about, because I want to talk about the 76 today in George Foreman. In my notes when I was doodling last night, I got up, I'm like, "Pearson, look, G is the 7th letter of the alphabet, and F is the 6th letter of the alphabet. George Foreman, 76. Oh, and I just started going all the way to 76 about everything I can relate to George Foreman, because see, I'm an old school boxing fan. I used to take my dad out to the fights, not literally to the fights, but you know, we'd go out, hang out at different stadiums and stuff and watch. And we were big George Foreman, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, the Thriller in Manila, right? I mean, all that. It brings back memories. But yeah, we got those colors of the sun god. Look at this here. Look at this. Sun god, Ra. Look at these colors. Look at those colors bursting out. So a lot of you guys might want to know, was it a ritual? Was it a sacrifice? I believe it was a sacrifice. I believe that George Foreman was a sacrifice for the gods in relation to the powers right now. Okay? It doesn't mean the people that I point out had something to do with it. What it means is that the powers deliberately, because the Phoenicians back in the day, that's how they roll. If they want territory, if they want fame, if they want positioning, if they want riches, then they sacrifice babies and people to get what they want. And I believe George Foreman, for this moment, was sacrificed. Because remember, he was at the top of the mountain. Think about it. And a preacher too, that blood was spilt with a motion in mind. Do you understand? when you climb that mountain to try to get back up to heaven and be like the Most High, you're going to take out the greats. And we've been having that lately. But again, look at the colors. Sun God Ra. You think these newscasts do this by accident? I don't think so. Not in my mind. Look at the colors. They're all right. They're all right there. Phoenician, purple, blue. I've never seen anything like that. Look at that. And the purple, Tiffany blue and the purple right there. The Phoenician colors right there. Now let's move on. We have the announcement. Pulled this up late last night. George Foreman, American boxing legend and entrepreneur, dead at 76. George Foreman, heavyweight boxing icon and business entrepreneur, died on Friday night. He was 76 years old. International Boxing Hall of Fame's family announced the news on his Instagram page, right? We already read that, right? He departed on March 21st. We're going to get into all this. You're going to see it was a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice, definitely. Born in Marshall, Texas in 1949, Foreman, who admittedly was a bully in his youth, joined the Job Corps at 16 years old before turning to boxing at 17. He made his first major step on the boxing world as a 19-year-old at the 1968 Mexico City Olympics, when he won the heavyweight gold medal against Soviet fighter Jonas Siplis. We go down the road. Olympics and all that. He's got a lot in common with Trump when it comes down to the numbers. He came back at 45 years old. Trump was the 45th president. And look at this, he won, he was 76-5 with 68 knockouts. 76, that's his age. And he just happened to have 76 wins with 68 knockouts. The numbers are going to speak, people. But I want to say my condolences. And hey, look, like I said, at 45 years old, he came back. 1994 to 2025, 30 years later. So let's get into this thing. I should have decoded the movies he was in. $6 Million Man and on The Masked Singer. Yeah, I should have, the television appearances, I should have done that. But yeah, we know him for a lot of things, people. Here's his birthday, January 10th, 1949. January 10th, 1949, and like I said, 76 years old. All right. He died in Texas. Texas is the 28th state in the Union. Became part of the United States December 29th, 1845. When you take December 29th of 2025, the anniversary this year of Texas being part of the United States, subtract it from yesterday's date when he died, 3/21/2025, you get 9/11. It's a message in this thing, in his death, believe it or not. The 9/11, because he died at 76. America was founded July 4th, 1776. I don't believe there's an accident. As I think about it, in the world, in the movie Leave the World Behind, there's a little celebration cup with 7-6 on it. 7-6 is speaking on so many levels. That's why I'm saying a lot of this is 76. G is 7 and F is 6. George Foreman. Don't forget how I put it together. G and F. 76. It means something, people. So 9/11. 9/11 for what? Not just for him, but for America. Do you understand? Now check this out. George Foreman died at 76. 76 could represent, again, 1776. Could it be representing the country as well? I think so. Then look at this. 3/21/2025 is when he died. And on 7/6, I took that number literally because he died at 76. Because 76 kept coming up. So yesterday's date, 3/21, subtracted from 7/6, 2025, there's your sacrifice number, 316. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, hallelujah, that whosoever believe him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. He was sacrificed, and it's going to show. Watch this. 7/6 minus 321 gives you sacrifice. Not only that, if you take 321, 2025, subtract it from the day that America was founded, 7/4, July 4th, right? And we made it 2025 for the year, this year, celebration. We'll be 249 years old. The difference is what? 316. What do you think they're trying to tell us, people? I'm gonna do some addition right quick. I just thought about something. We'll be 249 years old minus, wow. Yesterday was what? Yesterday was, we had 31, 28, and 21. 30, 40, 50, 70. Yesterday was the 80th day of the year. 80th day of the year. So 249 minus 80. All right, so 169. Yeah, I see some other stuff. Check this out. George Foreman. Why does George Foreman come out to 75? Pearson, what is 75? Well, March 16th is the 75th day of the year. March 16th. It's deep, ain't it? 316. March 16th is the 75th day of the year. So George, just his name alone comes out to 75. Also come out to 222. You know, in Gematria 222 is the beast system and Antichrist. I tell y'all, it was a sacrifice. It took me a while to kind of put it together, but I did. I just put it together gradually. I mean, the numbers began to speak. I thought about all the events he used to be involved in. The Beast of Revelation, 222. Antichrist system, 222. Antichrist Barack Obama, 222. It's all there. It's all there. Come down to Donald Trump, 222. Seven King, 222. Beast of Revelation, 222. He was a sacrifice. Look at that. Look at the numbers. Isn't that something? Satan knows the destiny of an individual. And he knows when to take them out so they can speak. The people of old, these gods, they have people up today who worship them. Baal, Moloch. This is the year of the snake and also the year of the Lunas god. Yeah, they speaking. Now, what date did George Foreman win his first title? January 22nd, 1973. January 22nd. Take January 22nd, 2026, anniversary next year, versus yesterday's date when he died, 3/21/2025. The difference is 44. Who's the 44th president? Barack Obama. Is that coincidence? Then look at this here. What day did George Foreman lose to Muhammad Ali? Everybody saw that fight, right? Rumble in the Jungle. October 30th, 1974. October 30th, 1974. Take October 30th, 2025, the anniversary of Rumble in the Jungle when he lost to Muhammad Ali versus 3/21, yesterday when he died. Why is the difference 7/13? What happened on 7/13? On July 13th, Trump got hit in the ear in Butler, Pennsylvania. Isn't that something? You take probably the most memorable fight of George Foreman, and after that he retired in shame and everything else. That's when Muhammad Ali introduced the rope-a-dope. When he interviewed Muhammad Ali, he looked at George Foreman and said, I can't beat him, so he had to go with a strategy. He let George Foreman punch himself out, so into exhaustion. And Muhammad Ali was conserving his energy, and then boom, he knocked George Foreman out at the end. It's called Rumble in the Jungle. That was October 30th. The anniversary is 2025. Subtract from yesterday comes out to, subtracted from yesterday's date, 3/21/2025, and it comes out to 7/13. it points to Trump, don't it? A lot of this going to point to Trump. And what happened on 7/13? That's when Trump said, fight, fight, fight. That's when Trump did what? That's when he got hit in the head in Butler, Pennsylvania. Now that I think about it, the rumble in the jungle. Let's put that in the geometry calculator. I never thought about that. Let's see. Rumble in the jungle. Rumble in the jungle. I guess we would have to put Muhammad Ali's name in there too. But let's just take it as it is. Rumble in the jungle. Yeah, I'll put it in the description. I want to put Rumble in the Jungle, George Foreman, and Muhammad Ali. I wonder what that's going to come out to. Yeah, we'll do that probably at the end. Okay. You know, George Foreman lost his daughter. I remember that. It hurt my heart. She boxed for a little while. He lost his daughter. There she is there. She boxed for a little while, right? And he lost her, I want to say 5 years ago, something like that. He lost his daughter. And the date was 3/9 of 2019. 3/9 of 2019. March 9th. He died in March and she died in March. So when you take, and at 42 years old, she died. You take 3/9 of 2019 when she died versus yesterday's date when he died, 3/21/2025, the difference is 315 weeks. So 315 weeks ago, his daughter died. All right, what is 315? Well, Julius Caesar died on March 15th. 315. And I've been telling y'all, that's what Trump reminded me of, Julius Caesar. And it was in 44 BC. Barack Obama was the 44th president. Is this all coincidence? Look at those numbers. From his daughter's death to his death is exactly 315 weeks, not a day longer. Look, tell me this wasn't no sacrifice. 315 weeks and 315, that's the day that Julius Caesar was assassinated, 315. Ain't that deep? And look at this here. George Foreman's first boxing match in New York, 1969. June 23rd, 1969, George Foreman's first fight. Take June 23, 2025 anniversary, subtracted from yesterday's date when he died, 3/21/2025. The difference is 94 days. What's the 94th day of the year? That would be what? April 4th, 4/4. Barack Obama's the 44th president. Isn't that something? Is that coincidence? And look at here. What was the last fight of George Foreman? It was in 1977 against Jimmy Young. It was March 17th, 1977. March 17th, 1977, subtracted from 6/23, which was what? 6/23 is his first boxing match. Watch how this come out. First boxing match here versus his last boxing match, the difference is 78. 7 years, 8 months, 3 weeks, and 1 day. What's the 78? Isn't Trump 78 years old? Is that coincidence? That's deep. Then look, remember he sold this thing here? The lean, mean, fat machine, right? Everybody bought those things back in the day. He was a great spokesman. He found his calling, so to speak, after boxing. And he had the George Foreman grill, known as the lean, mean, fat reducing grilling machine. Everybody loved it because George had a nice smile, nice personality. And that was back in the day. When you take that date of 6/7, when he started selling that thing, 6/7 of 2025 is the anniversary, minus the day he just died. Rest in peace, 3/21. The difference is 78 days. Did you hear me? The lean machine, whatever you want to call it, it came out. The George Foreman grill came out. The date that it came out was 6/7, right? Let's go back on this thing. George, that's his last fight. And then he came out with this grill. It was on 6/7. Look, on 6/27, he came out with the George Foreman cooking grill. 6/27. Well, that was the. It says July 27. I can't find it right now, but it was on June 7th that he came out with the grill. I'm sure. That's my notes. Like I said, I did this last night. 6/7. And then he died on 3/21. 78. Trump is 78 years old. I'm going to put this together for you guys. Now, if you notice the pattern when it came down to celebrities, when there's major events, people die around major events. Like when we have different sports situations. Remember the reporter who died a few days before the Super Bowl? Remember that? I call them sacrifices. Watch this here. Reporter dies before Super Bowl.
According to AP News, Super Bowl reporter found dead in hotel room had sedative drug in his system, police say. New Orleans, AP, the television reporter who died in New Orleans while on assignment to cover the Super Bowl had a sedative.
I don't care what major event it is, when it comes down to sports and entertainment, somebody wind up dying. And guess what? You got the March Madness just started, right? So could it be March Madness began the first NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament, which later became known as March Madness, was held 1939, March 27th. So I took March 27th of 2025, the anniversary, because they're playing right now, versus 1/10 of 2025. That's George Foreman's birthday. The difference is 76. There's that 76 again. I'm not saying the March Madness people got anything to do with it. All I'm saying is that the gods sacrifice in relation to events. They make this stamp. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. Let's type that in. March Madness. See what we get here. MarchMadness. March Madness comes out to 46. George Floyd, George Orwell, JFK, they all died at 46 years old. Is that coincidence that George Foreman is dying during March Madness? Was he sacrificed? That's crazy, right? I'm not saying they got anything to do with it. I'm just saying this is how the gods do things behind the scene. Now, check this out. Remember I told you the 76 is present. Now, remember I told you about the 6/27 earlier? Look at this. Yesterday's date when George Foreman died, 3/21, subtracted from 12/8 of 2026. Leave the World Behind, literally. In the movie Leave the World Behind, there's a cup on the dresser that says 76, okay? And so I put in Leave the World Behind because it came out December 8th of 2023. So I made the anniversary 2026. Subtracted from yesterday's death date of George Foreman, it comes out to 627 days ago, Leave the World Behind came out. And Barack Obama was a part of that movie in consultation somehow. What is 627? On June 27th, that's when Trump beat Joe Biden on the debate. Is that coincidence? See, look, leave the world behind, 12/8. Isn't that something? And then look at here. Remember Apollo Creed, Kyle Withers? Apollo Creed against Rocky back in the day? Well, guess what? He died at 76 years old, believe it or not. He was 76. And remember, America was founded July 4th, 1776. George Foreman died at 76. And guess what? You might not like him, but I did a video on him when he died. O.J. Simpson died at 76. Tell me what you think. It's deep. It's deep. I'll put that one video on there about the colors because I'm telling you, this tie to me is speaking. And look at the background. Do you really match it up that way with coincidence? I don't think so, people. That's an impossibility that you would have on the Phoenician colors, and then you got the Rider Sun God while you talking about somebody's death. You know it and I know it. That's almost impossible for it to just happen that way. So why, look, people, you think we don't live in a scripted world? I'm not saying he got anything to do with it. All I'm saying is that, do you think it's coincidence? May George Foreman rest in peace. God bless him. And God bless America and bless the world.